Let me just take you to the walkthrough of our demo. We're gonna enter the email address here, the password, and we're gonna press on login. Once we are here, we can see the dashboard over here. This comes under the AllSecureX My Organization, which will give you the health summary report of your organization from a high level perspective. We have a digital footprint here, the findings, critical issues, and the high issues. The digital findings, or the digital footprint, we call it, these are the number of assets we have found, which includes the primary domain, primary subdomain, the associated domains, and correspondingly associated subdomains. And we had a graph that represents the finding across each and every vertical and the findings related to that. Now, as we are building the hyperautomation tunneling here, so we have integrated number of templates and the modules into the platform. So we have right now 30 plus templates available. So email security, the application network, similarly supply chain security, the AI-driven threat defense, etc. And in the dashboard, you can see the overall score of a particular domain with the industry average and the overall loss magnitude. Now the scoring is done out of 5. So for example, if the DNS security is there, then we have 4.1 rating, which is resilient, and the industry average is 3.4. And overall loss magnitude is around 200,000 US dollars if a particular attack happens regarding one of the issues of the DNS security. So we are trying to map the risk quantification in the terms of the loss magnitude as well as the security ratings in the terms out of 5. So apart from this, here we had understanding more from a deep and dark web analysis of an organization, which includes the recent breaches which happened and the overall details we have found in the terms of information disclosures, the leaked credentials, dimensions, the data exfiltrations, etc. The traffic source here defines the number of APIs and from the different places where we are getting the data itself. So we have included everything in the white papers, which talks about the control repositories and all. So which includes both proprietary APIs as well as the external APIs. And also we had a supply chain sentinel column here, which talks about the third party and the fourth party risk monitoring, including the product services the organization is using and what are the possible threat because of these products which are like updated or not, the particular CV associated with each and every product. Similarly, this talks about mostly about the technical data that we have found. The another aspect of the dashboard is understanding through an executive level perspective, which is actually a non-technical data. More from understanding for the person who is not into the cybersecurity but will get a better understanding regarding the same. So we have mapped entire data in the terms of the financial impact here. For example, the overall loss magnitude of the organization is around 5.8 million US dollar, which means that if an attack happened, then this is something the loss the organization might face. Similarly, the customer churn loss, the downtime loss, the market share loss because of a cybersecurity attacks which happened. So we are just making the cybersecurity a less of a technical jargon by this executive dashboard. So we have segregated the attacks into the different verticals here in the terms of the financial impact, like the direct impact would be there, the indirect impact, the operational impact, strategic and competitive, industry specific, and the intangible impact. And each and every the financial impact has been calculated based on the predictive modeling. We have used the hybrid calculation model based on the FAIR and the Monte Carlo simulations with more than 50,000 to 1 lakh iterations to give you the realistic results, particularly with the risk thresholds and the average minimum maximum losses particularly. Similarly, we have further detailed the losses in terms of the primary loss and secondary losses and the loss magnitude as per the different cyber threats which are might be possible. So this gives you a holistic picture regarding the financial impact. Now, apart from this thing, uh, if you want to get a more advanced business impact understanding, you can just click on here. You can add further details of your organization. For example, if your organization is in manufacturing and production one, we can use this one, number of employees here, and we can fill out these form. Now you can just put it in the number form or in the form of a plain text. We have models which actually read both of them, and the annual revenue, the country, you can forward the remarks here. You can like this talk about the assessment scope, like if you want to use the existing assessment data which has been generated or you want to use the new one. The new one definitely takes more time, so that's why we have given an option for both of them, because it's generally recommended that it's better to do it in a quarter or a monthly, something like that, rather than doing it every day, because it's gonna increase the cost of the infrastructure and all. So this is what we have done, and you can press continue, and the detailed summary report will be generated, as well as the numbers will be reflected here, more realistic version of that. Similarly, you can download the executive summary here with the report type. For example, you have a board of director report here, the cybersecurity program, the CISO overview, the file type in the PDF, and you can just click on generate, and you can just report will be generated. So this is the report which is there. That's a single page report to give you a better understanding. So we had a maximum minimum loss average. We have a loss magnitude here in the terms of the parent node and the child node, which talks about how this particular loss has been calculated across the asset loss, financial loss, customer churn, insurance cost, compliances, grievances, etc., and how this thing has been calculated. Similarly, we have further deep dive into the top primary loss, secondary losses, the industry average score, what is your organization score, and the BIA value. The BIA value talks mostly about the business impact avoidance value, which means that amount of financial gain which will happen once you start remediation process by remediating each and every control. For example, like if you implement the WAF, then mostly the $200,000 has been saved the last quarter. Something like that would be there, depicting regarding here the overall status of the business impact. Similarly, coming back over here again, uh, we have a breach likelihood radar here. The breach likelihood will talk about the probability of an attack which is happening. This has been covered separately into the separate page, which talks about the possible number of attacks which might happen in an organization and their probability. For example, the ransomware 75% is there, or the DDoS attack 60% and all. So we have a comprehensive graph here with the number of domains which has been affected, with the timeline and the breach likelihood percentage here. And this is a detailed understanding of how the attacks are happening and what are the findings that we have found, particularly with the industry average and the severity of those particular attacks. Apart from that, you can also download the report for this particular one. We call it as the health summary report, which is here. This is the report for that one. A single page report which gives you a better understanding regarding the cybersecurity posture of your organization, which talks about the different security domains. The top issues which has been found, like DNS amplification attack, SMB service has been discovered, the botnet discovered, and all this kind of things with the domain scorecard. Now this one comes through 100. This is like, for example, email security has been resilient with 80 score, the 40, 60 stable, and all this kind of things would be there. And this talks about the probability of the ransomware to occur, the DDoS, data exfiltration, the MITM attacks, and etc. So this basically helps you to give a high-level perspective of the organization, current cybersecurity, the like structure, or you can say a high-level perspective of the organization. Now coming back to the portal, we can go to the digital footprint page, which talks about the total number of digital assets which are there, including the primary domain, associated and associated subdomains, with their presence across the globe. Uh, and you can just verify each and every one of this data depending upon the relevancy itself. So that's there. And apart from that, the another feature of our organization or of our platform is particularly that deep dive into the each and every security domain. For example, if you have integrated the email security template, or if you have integrated the secure layer template, we have you can do the detailed analysis for each and every one of them through the findings you have found. For example, in the application security, you have found the low, medium, high, critical, how many are there. We have compromised cookie security, the compromised application exposure is there, the HSTS has been found, and depending upon the number of findings we have a table. We have total findings, domain security score, we have AllSecureX score, which talks about the overall security rating of an organization. Similarly, we had all the different segments in the modules that you have integrated in your platform. The breach radar is the another one, which talks about the deep and dark web analysis of an organization. It talks about the sensitive data disclosure, the exposed username, passwords, the confidential information, and the file leaks there. So we have segregated this thing into service A, B, and C. And most importantly, this works on the continuous threat assessment with 24/7. So the moment if anything happens in the deep and dark web, you will automatically get to know about that under the hacker chatter mention itself. So we have the employee PII information available, the credit card leakages, the passwords, the recent data breach, the domain type squatting, the malware detection, the IUC monitoring, threat actor profiling, the Tor monitoring, etc. We have covered into the very detailed manner in each and every cybersecurity attacks which might be possible or something which has been breached by an organization under the deep and dark web. Now that's the mainly regarding this. And apart from that, uh, we have another feature that is the AllSecureX GPT, which talks about the real-time AI assistant. You can just ask them a complicated or complex questions regarding your organization, security, architecture, and security posture. For example, the top five potential security threats to your organization right now, and what is the probability of security breach due to the application vulnerability in the next 12 months. So we are using right now the different AI models and mechanisms which has been the best industrial practices right now in order to give you the accurate answers regarding the same. The another feature is the incident response here, where you can just create new incident. The ones we have, for example, you have found the application security, the WAF is not functioning properly. You can create a new incident here. You can put the date over there. uh, you can select the team type. The blue team is there. You can just say it's a one of the software one. You can say it is a critical, and the incident domain is the application security, and you can create an incident project. Now once it is there, you can just manage them through the incident workflow. You can invite your team members who, and they can resolve this issue by simply drag and drop perspective. You can just, for example, email security is there. You can mark it as triaged, and once it is resolved, you can just get it into the resolved section itself. Similarly, you can just track your progress overall through the dashboard of the incident overview, which talks about the number of incidents which has been created, the number of tasks which has been created, and the business impact avoidance value which is there. And yeah, that's mainly a graph which depicts the number of active the incident which are there and which has been resolved. So the more you resolve, the better the BIA value would be, and the better uh, chances of reducing the financial impact. So this is how we are quantifying the cyber risk quantification platform. You can also download the data into the Excel form for each and every one of them for the better understanding. By downloading the data here, you can select the Outlook report into the Excel, and you can just create a report, and you will get an Excel format or the JSON format uh, to get a better to cross verify the details with your security teams and all. So that's how the platform basically looks like. So thanks for your time.